Today we're doing a deep dive into a policy that, usually gets lost in the fine print. It's the high-value council tax surcharge.
Most people would probably know it as the mansion tax.
Exactly. And it's coming in April 2028. Now, the headlines are all about the politics of it, soaking the rich. But the real story we found in the source material isn't about that at all.
No, not really. It's actually about a massive failure in design.
Yes. It's this perfect lesson in how the tiny details of a policy can matter so much more than the headline.
It's a masterclass in how not to design a tax, really, when you just look at the mechanics of it.
Okay, so let's get into those mechanics. It targets homes over £2 million. The goal is to raise about $400 million a year.
Sounds straightforward on the surface.
It does. Expensive house, you pay a bit more. But the way they're doing it creates this cliff edge. It's just bizarre.
It really is. The biggest flaw is that it's not a percentage. It uses these fixed bands. So if your home is valued at, say, exactly £2 million, you pay nothing extra. Zero. But, and here's the crazy part, if it's valued at £2,001.
Oh, here we go.
You're suddenly hit with a £2,500 annual charge.
For the sake of a single quid. Wow.
Which just completely distorts all the incentives. I mean, if you're a homeowner anywhere near that line, your main goal is now to prove your house is worth less.
Not more. Which is the opposite of how we usually think about our biggest asset.
Right. So we're going to see a flood of valuation disputes, people delaying sales, or even, artificially lowering asking prices just to scrape in under that 2 million mark.
It just feels like you're building a system designed to create friction and arguments.
Exactly. I mean, you look at a country like Ireland, they use a proportional system. So if your valuation is off by a little bit, your tax bill only changes by a little bit. It's smooth.
It makes sense.
It does. But we've chosen friction.
And it gets even stranger when you get to the whole fairness argument, because that was the entire political selling point.
And that's where the math really falls apart.
I was just stunned by the comparison in the source material. It put a nurse in Nottingham next to a hedge fund manager in London.
Yeah, the numbers are pretty stark.
So the nurse pays about 1% of her home's value every year in council tax. But the hedge fund manager, in a £20 million home, even with this new mansion tax surcharge, they're paying something like 0.05%. It's a rounding error.
It is, and that's the definition of a regressive system. The person with less wealth is still paying a much, much higher percentage of their assets' value in tax.
So this new tax just adds a layer of complexity without actually fixing that basic structural imbalance.
Not at all.
And that takes us to what feels like the biggest missed opportunity here. Because if you're going to shake up property tax, you have to look at the other big cost.
Stamp duty.
Stamp duty. It's this massive break on the housing market, right?
It absolutely is. It's so expensive to move house that a lot of people who would otherwise move, they just don't. It kills liquidity and stalls the market.
Right. And the smart play here would have been a swap, wouldn't it?
It seems so obvious. You could have, say, halved the top rate of stamp duty. That gets more people moving, which means more transactions, and you might actually increase your triple tax take from it.
And then you replace that revenue with a properly designed annual tax.
A proportional one, a smooth one. You remove the brake and replace it with something efficient.
But we didn't get that. We got the worst of both worlds. We kept the high stamp duty, and we added this clunky cliff edge surcharge on top.
It's a classic piecemeal reform. It just creates noise without solving the root problem.
So, to wrap it up, this is a real case study in what you'd call headline reform. Looks good on paper, looks bold, but it just creates these strange market distortions without fixing the inequity it claims to target.
And it's a huge reminder that design incentives shape everything.
Yeah. And I guess we want to leave you with a final thought on that. We normally think of economic confidence as wanting your assets to grow in value. But if tax policy actively incentivizes you to prove your house is worth less money, have we accidentally designed a system that punishes confidence? Something to think about. Thanks for listening.